Welcome to the Perfect Season Podcast. This is the super amazing podcast. Has absolutely everything to do with all things sports related and nothing, absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex. We're joined today with Anthony and Frankie today. So let's get right into it. Gentlemen, free agency has got to be probably the most chaotic of the entire season so far. Agreed?
It's wilder than March Madness.
No, I would say March Madness is a little bit crazy. St. Peter's, but still, I mean, let me rephrase that. I didn't even say the full season. When was the last time that free agency has been this interesting in the past ever?
Tom Brady going to the
Okay,
Bucs.
besides Tom Brady, because I think right now
2015.
What happened in 2015 again?
That was the year you had like Sam Bradford and Ndamukong Suh. Who else did you have that year? I just remember 2015 being. I think DeMarco Murray went to Philadelphia. Yeah, he did go to Philadelphia.
He did.
So
and then
2015 was wild.
2015 was wild. I agree, but I'd say this year's a little bit crazier.
Oh, every single day you feel like something's going to happen.
No kidding. Literally in a matter of a couple of days, it's just like this. For instance, Tyreek Hill. I didn't know Tyreek Hill was on the chopping block until yesterday morning, and then an hour after hearing about it, he's a Dolphin.
Yeah, how about that? And the Dolphins, I'll give them credit, Alex. They've made a lot of additions this offseason. Terron Armstead, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert. I mean, the Dolphins they're going for it.
They went full offense this offseason, and you know what? Like, I get Tua hasn't had the world's strongest campaign for people to support him, but now he's kind of in a boomer bust situation. We've given him so much to deal with. You know, you could make excuse about the poor wide receiver room in his first year and even last year. The offensive line was always bottom 25. I'm sorry, like bottom 5. So, I mean, now 2 new offensive lineman hits, 2 new wide receivers instead, Wilson and Tyreek Hill, a new running back room. I mean, he doesn't have any excuse but to not succeed this year.
Correct.
This is the year that Tua will either boom or bust, and I will fully get behind that. If we don't hit the playoffs, then you know what? Move on.
Yeah, but I mean, Alex, you got to remember, there's so many good AFC teams. Like I thought about this yesterday. There's 13 good teams in the AFC that can make the playoffs. So 6 good teams aren't going to make it. If the Dolphins don't make it, it may not be because Tua's not very good. It may just be because they don't win enough games.
Well, that's been the case the past 2 years.
Well, look at the division. Look at the division though. You got the Dolphins now with Tyreek. You got the Patriots who knows what's going to happen. The Jets. They got some pieces, but it's not going to be a winning team. And then you got the Bills. You got Von Miller and the Bills.
I'm going to say this. I think if Miami is going to make the playoffs, they have a better chance at winning the division than they do of securing a wild card spot. So, Frankie. Let's give him a second. Oh, there we go.
That was my phone for a minute.
Nah, you were stuck for a second. We were wondering what was happening.
Oh, it was my phone.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. As soon as I walk out of my apartment, my Wi-Fi kicks off my phone.
No, you're good. I had a feeling that was the case.
Yeah. That was an event getting my Wi-Fi set up when I first moved in.
All right. So, gentlemen, what was
so where were the AFC East?
Yeah, we were saying that the Dolphins, if they're going to make the playoffs, they have a better chance of winning the division than they do of winning a wild card seat.
I think that goes for any team in the AFC.
The
Raiders are making the playoffs.
I think they're winning the division.
Really?
You had them at 3-13 last year.
3-14, actually.
3-14.
Okay. See, that was before I realized how good Hunter Renfrow was, how good Darren Waller is, how good actually Derek Carr is, and now you're going to give him Devontae Adams.
I mean, it's a fair point.
Super Bowl.
You're going to give Derek Carr the best wide receiver potentially in football over the last 3 years. Sign me up for that.
I mean, the offense is certainly loaded now, so it's just going to see if the Raiders can actually call it this year or if they're going to be the Raiders.
And they might get Tyrann Mathieu.
The Raiders' defense is better than people give them credit for.
No, it is.
Like it is.
You look like it was addition by. It was like they literally
Yannick Ngakoue left, and they said, okay, we're going to go get Chandler Jones, and they did. And then they have a good playmaker. They have a good tackler, linebacker, Denzel Perriman. Then you go back to the secondary. They have some playmakers there. I think it's better than what people think.
Agreed. So, Anthony, I'm assuming that you're going to say that the biggest hit of free agency in general is Devontae Adams.
For the AFC?
In general, any team, any player.
Oh, I was going to say Buffalo signing freaking Von Miller.
Really?
That was, it was unexpected.
I mean, yeah. I don't really know how I feel about that deal anyway. I mean, Von Miller's 32 years
Allen
old.
Robinson finally got out of Chicago.
Yeah, he needed to get out of Chicago.
He got out of Chicago finally.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got out of Chicago. Who else moved the team?
Robert Woods got traded to Tennessee.
I heard about that because Julio's gone.
Well, yeah, they cut Julio. And Julio's still a free agent right now.
I know.
If I'm Indianapolis, I go and maybe see if he wants to come and play.
Yeah, I know.
Julio
see if they can
Tampa?
reunite Matt Ryan with Julio.
You got Pittman Jr.
T.Y. Hilton. No, he's
T.Y. Hilton.
No, he's a free agent.
Like the Colts, I feel like they need some playmakers for their quarterback to throw the ball to. Like Mo Alley Cox, Jack Doyle, and Michael Pittman are good, but they don't have that wide receiver that can take the top off a defense like the Buccaneers, the Bengals, the Raiders, and the Dolphins now apparently do.
Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, then again, every team has a deep wide receiver class as of right now. I mean, our respective teams have wide receiver playmakers across all the board. Just to name off a few more teams, you have the Raiders. I'm sorry, not the Raiders, the Rams. You know, the Rams are still absolutely loaded. I mean, let's be real here. You know, you get the Broncos. You still have the Chargers.
I'm not buying in the Denver or the Chargers for that matter.
I'm gonna put if I'm gonna put my money on a team that's gonna do significantly better than last year, I'm gonna put my money on the Broncos. I think that the wide receiver room that they have on the Broncos is not talked about enough. Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Albert O. It's a shame that they lost Noah Fant to that stupid trade. But you know what? I mean, their defense is still, in my opinion, it's a top 10 defense on a good day. And you know what? This offense with a revitalized.
Okay, hear me out on this.
Hmm.
It's totally switching to the NFC now.
Hmm.
Which is the best division.
It's conference, not division.
Conference division, same thing. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
The Lions.
Totally
Lions.
Totally different.
If that was the case, the team for the NFC East could win the NFC. No, they can't. The NFC East is a clown show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the NFC East looks better overall.
Okay, the Lions. They could have
Lions.
been a 5-win team, 6-win team last year.
Could have
if they had the key pieces, or if they had the freaking not the key pieces, but like if they had the right pieces and didn't lose those games, they could have easily made 5-6 wins. But I see if the Lions get Mayfield, let's go out on a tangent,
which they won't.
Or the Lions get Julio,
which they won't.
It's possible.
No.
I don't know. I don't know if those players would want to go play in Detroit necessarily.
But what if you get offered the money?
I'm sorry, but you know what? Like, if I get offered like a money contract to go play for the team that just had the worst record, I would rather take a little bit less money and go for a team that, is guaranteed to go to the playoffs.
Technically, Jacksonville.
And you're gonna finish third in the division because Aaron Rodgers is still in Green Bay. He's gonna make.
He has no receiver. He has no
definitive wide receiver number one, but he still has a decent.
You got Marcus Valdes-Scantling.
He's a free agent.
I know, but if he resigns,
they have Randall Cobb, they still have Robert Tonyan, they still have Alan Lazard. And God knows they'll probably draft a wide receiver in the first round this year. They're going to have to.
Once.
They're going to have to. That's their biggest need now with letting.
Or they'll take another quarterback.
No.
I know, I'm joking.
That's definitely not going to happen. But I mean, here's the thing. If I'm going to put the Lions in their division, I'm still going to put Green Bay in first. I'm still going to put the Vikings in second. And I'm going to put the Lions third right in front of Chicago.
Minnesota is beaten up.
Minnesota still has Kirk Cousins. They still have Alan Thielen. They still have Justin Jefferson. And a new head coach.
They have a new head coach.
Exactly. It's not Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, who just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And who played, I mean, if this maybe matters, he coached a quarterback who was in the NFC North.
Yeah, I'd say that matters.
But I want to go back to Anthony and what he said about Von Miller. Like, Buffalo, to me, they were already the favorites to win the AFC because I think they have the best team in that conference.
Yeah, I agree.
But then you add, think about this, guys. They paid Von Miller $130 million plus 6 years. Now, obviously, that's not fully guaranteed, but you pay someone who is in his 30s, a 2-time Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP, and you're going to make a unit on your team, your defensive line is already good, better. Buffalo, to me, is the favorite now in the AFC. Because you add Von Miller, that is bold right there.
Okay. What about this? Free agency surprises. We can talk about Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is the biggest loser free agency, and you cannot change my mind.
I think they're going to be improved this year. I really do.
They will be improved, but not enough to do anything with it, in my opinion.
They'll be 500. No. They'll be 500.
No, they won't.
You're either going to be a game over or a game under 500 with the 17th game.
Yeah.
I got 500.
So you're going to go 8-1 then?
I got.
Who are they going to tie?
9-8.
9-8. Okay.
That's
who would they tie?
Tennessee, I don't know. Probably one of their divisional rivals that they always tie.
Houston.
Here's my thing, and
Houston didn't do anything besides get rid of Deshaun.
Yeah,
who wants to go play for them?
Who picks their picks? It's the same way with the Lions. Name one free agent that went to the Lions that was notable other than DJ Chark.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with Houston. Name one guy that went to Houston.
Marlon Mack might go to Houston.
That is not a notable free agent.
No, that just gives them a player at a position.
Yeah, that's just a third string running back. Second string.
I mean, where would you rather go? Where would you rather go? Detroit or Houston?
I would rather go to Houston. I'd rather go to the Lions because of Dan Campbell and that energy and culture that he's
at least with Dan Campbell and that team, you can win, and you got players around you.
You have hope that you can win. I would rather play with Dan Campbell than I would play for Lovie Smith in the Houston Texans.
That was the stupidest hire.
Mm-hmm.
Lovie Smith
is a good coach.
You have to remember,
there's just better coaches out there.
Super Bowl. He's been to a Super Bowl
as a head coach.
Yes. 2006, head coach of the Chicago Bears took that team to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Super Bowl anytime soon.
Completely missed that one.
Because the Bears. Yeah, because again, you only remember who wins the Super Bowl. You don't remember who goes. The Bears went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
That is fair.
I got to sign off, unfortunately, early because I got to go into work. But I'm going to say this, Alex. Did you know that this year is the 50th anniversary of the 72 undefeated Dolphins?
I did now.
You're welcome.
A record that's been standing for 50 years and will never be broken anytime soon.
Unless someone that goes undefeated now.
I know. I'm very confident saying that no team is going to go undefeated this year and win.
I don't see any team either. I don't see
it.
The Rams will lose a game. The Buccaneers will lose a game.
Yeah, the Bucs are determined to lose a game.
Every team is determined to lose at least one game. Now, for granted,
not if you're Houston, you're determined to lose them all.
The 1972 Dolphins played 14 games. You know what? And now we have 17 regular season games, as well as if you finished first, then you only have to play 3 playoff games. So you'd have to go 20-0, basically, in order to be undefeated and to tie that record. And honestly, just with the sheer amount of games that we have now compared to back then in the 70s, no team is going to be undefeated anytime soon unless you have every single NFL superstar.
You're probably going to have to at some point play Sunday and a Thursday, which makes it difficult.
Exactly. You're going to have those schedules.
I'm going to sign off, but this was good, and I'll be back on the next show.
All right. Thank you, Frankie.
Hear me. What do you think about Munich, Germany? Chiefs.
I'm sorry, say that again one more time.
It's most likely going to be Bucks Chiefs first game of the year. for the Bucks. It's a home game for the Bucks in Germany. Hate it. I hate it.
I enjoy it. I like, you know
But
what, like,
if you're gonna put the Bucks for the first home game across the country, do it against like the measly Panthers, the Falcons, the Saints.
buddy,
Not the
whenever they
Chiefs.
do
I want the
these,
Bucks Chiefs here in Raymond James.
Anthony, whenever they do these huge international games, they do show-stopping games. You know, like the London games, you throw whoever's in the East. You know who you throw whatever teams is in the East Coast that you can just throw over there. But if you're gonna have Munich, Germany, you're not gonna throw these two bottom feeder teams. You're gonna have two teams that are gonna create a buzz. You want to create a strong NFL fan base in Germany. So you're gonna put in two teams that are definitely gonna spark a lot of fans. You're gonna have Tom Brady and the Bucks, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, the two biggest name quarterbacks to anybody around this world that knows nothing about football.
Yeah, fair point. But
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's stupid. I'd
rather have it here in Tampa.
Well, exactly, because you're losing a home game, and in this
year, we're losing a home game.
Yeah, and in this year, when you only have 8 or 9 home games, what if the Bucks only have 8 home games? Which I don't know, and then you just lose one to Germany. So that means that you only have 7 true home games. That's not fair. That's not fair to the Bucks fans. But think of it this way: the NFL is a business. This is not a league. This is a huge business. So you're going to throw two teams with a lot of good named players across the world, so that you can start creating a fan base in Germany.
If they can ever get to Germany, the world now.
Well, they will get to Germany, Anthony. I mean, please. But
hey, I'm just saying.
I know. I want to go back to Jacksonville on this because I know you're very adamant and you're very optimistic about Jacksonville this year. And I'm very pessimistic. I'm very pessimistic about Jacksonville this year because of their free agent signings.
Okay, who's one player you wish they didn't sign?
Christian Kirk. What kind of contract? What kind of team gives $18 million a year to a player that's never reached above 1,000 yards, let alone a Pro Bowl? And a guy that was never even a definitive number 1 wide receiver. He was wide receiver number 3 last year with the Cardinals behind AJ Green and Hopkins.
Well, then he's going to be wide receiver 1 here in Jacksonville.
Oh, then he's not
unless they drop someone. Unless they drop someone.
I don't think they're going to draft anybody. I mean, I don't know, maybe. But here's the thing. Anthony, be honest with me. Like, do you really think Christian Kirk deserved $18 million?
Not 18 mil.
No. What do you think he was? What would you give him?
Like 14, 12, 10.
I'd give him 8 mil.
8?
I'd give him 4 years, 32, with incentives that if he goes above 1,000 yards, he can gain a couple more $1 million.
That's fair. That's fair.
And also some of the other players I thought were a little overpriced. Foye Alukun. 3 years, $45 million. I think that's a little overpriced. He's good, but he's not that good. There was one lineman that I was kind of okay with. The only signing, in my opinion, that Jacksonville hit was Brandon Sheriff.
Yes.
Because Brandon Sheriff is a guy that's going to be a big name. He's a good protector. So, 3 years, just under $50 million, he deserves that contract. He deserves that. That, in my opinion, is the only major signing that Jacksonville had a huge hit on. All the other ones, severely overpaid, especially Christian Kirk, because he set this unrealistic standard for wide receivers across the league.
Right.
Because the franchise tag was worth $18 million. The Packers tried to franchise tag Devontae Adams, and the franchise tag is 1 year of the equivalent of what Christian Kirk is going to make. So, of course, he's going to say no, because Christian Kirk isn't even a top 30 wide receiver.
You mean top 32?
No, just top 30 in general as a wide receiver. Brandon Sheriff, in my opinion, of the tops of the 6 major ones that they say. Also, I'm sorry, Zay Jones, 3 year, $30 million. Zay Jones is
you never know. Some of these people could be good.
Yeah, some of these people may be good, but on paper, I'm sorry, Anthony, but in our fantasy football league that we did last year, Zay Jones was a free agent that was like on and off people's waiver wire every other week.
Yeah.
Not a reliable guy. Christian Kirk was somewhat reliable with the Cardinals, but that's because of Kyler Murray. Not saying that Trevor Lawrence is trash or anything. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to do better this year around. I do not think Christian Kirk was worth $18 million a year. I think that was such a waste of money. What's it called? Other than that, there's
Jaguars are set to sign cornerback Xavier Crawford.
I don't know who that is.
Bears cornerback.
Never heard of him.
Let's see. Jacksonville, blah blah blah. Signed Xavier Crawford. Jacksonville helped improve wide receiver corps.
You know what, dude? Honestly, with Jacksonville, I wouldn't be surprised if they try. I don't even know who's really left. Like they might make a run for Julio just to like make something of it. I'm sorry. If I was an NFL free agent.
Oh, to get more onto the Jaguars, apparently Urban Meyer didn't even know who Aaron Donald was.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really sad. Assuming that that's true.
Assuming
it's true. So, but I think that's going to be it for today's part 1. We should save a little bit for part 2, maybe even part 3, because there's still a lot to go over.
There is.
So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with the part 2 hopefully soon. Thank you again, and yeah, we'll see you guys real soon.